So this is the basic of Filipino cooking or Asian cooking, I believe. You warm the oil so that when it's warm, then you can saute the garlic until it's brown. Saute the garlic until it's brown. And if you don't like the smell of the garlic inside your house, open your doors. That's what I usually do. Because even with the blower of the oven, it doesn't really remove that good smell. I love garlic, but if it's going to your clothes, especially when you're all dressed up, it's not really a good thing to do. So I usually cook before I dress up. Getting brown. Sometimes I sneak on my cooking because I usually just nibble the garlic, especially if it's burnt. Oh my God, you need to try it. Garlic is supposed to have antifungal and antibiotic effect, and also I found out that it can actually stabilize your blood pressure as well. I eat a lot of garlic because I love it. I hope you do too. I just added the onions. It's red onions. Red onions are good for you because they have an anti-inflammatory effect, especially to your arteries. And I've used it as well for, like, during the time that I had some blood sugar problems. And even up to now, I still use it because of the anti-inflammatory effect of it. And even if you eat it fresh, it is really good. And I use, what's in here is actually just olive oil. It's healthy. I added the shredded chicken. I'm going to put a little bit of soy sauce, and I'm going to simmer it from the, from the soup or broth that came from this chicken while I was boiling it. So it's going to be, I can't even pronounce it. It's going to be tastier. There you go. So I just covered it, and the chicken is simmering. So now I'm going to put the noodles. I'm just going to take what I just said, that I'm going to put the noodles, because the carrots and the celery are a little harder than the noodles. Then it has to go first, and it has to be a little bit softer before you put the noodle itself. And then I'm just gonna let it simmer a little bit. This is the noodles that I'm using, and I kind of wash it with water because it's a little harder than usual. But what I usually use are the noodles made from beans, and this is made from flour. So I'm not going to overcook the vegetables, because otherwise then it will be overcooked by the time you finish cooking. And it's really hard to break these noodles, so I'm going to cut it with a kitchen knife later. So that's how it looks like while it's cooking. Some parts are not cooked, the other parts are cooked. I added a little bit of cabbage. I just chopped the cabbage, not garbage. And also I'm making sure that there is water underneath it. It's not plain water, but the broth that I got from boiling the meat. Now if it gets really dry at the bottom, then you can add more until the noodles are really cooked. So once in a while you have to check it whether you still have a little bit of water underneath it, like that, so it's not burned. So this one has some more broth on it, so I'm going to continue just doing this on low fire, cover it. You see there's still that part that's not cooked, so it has to be cooked equally. It's looking yummy, isn't it? Although this is a lot of carbohydrates, but maybe once in a while, like Christmas time, my daughter asked this specifically, so I'm cooking it. Okay, so this is almost cooked now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it so that it's not too long. Just go over like that. My son-in-law loves this too, and the other two children. And of course my husband, if it's only once in a while. But usually when we cook, like I've said earlier, we use the bean noodles. Okay, this is a finished product and it's called Pancit in Filipino or Tagalog language, or noodles.